Hi everybody, it's me, Dawn, Very Best Me in Dallas, coming at you from my car. So I figured I'd do a video in the car because sometimes it's just nicer to have straight up silence where you can be alone in your thoughts. And, you know, if you've got kids, sometimes it's not always possible. So you find the best spot you can. And today, it's my car. You know, no pets, no distractions, where I can actually just talk about some of the things that, you know, just kind of want to talk about real quick. So first of all, I am at day 46 post-op, which puts me at about, 6 weeks post-op. My operation, the surgery I had was gastric bypass surgery on October 27th of this year, 2020. And I've had success. So far, I've lost 30 pounds. And right now, I'm at the stall, as they call it. This typically happens 4 to 6 weeks. And it's been happening to me loosely for the past maybe 2 weeks. It toys with me. I'll go down 2 pounds, go back up 1, stay at 1 pound loss extra for another couple days. So all total, excuse me, I'm just going to count this as the stall period, which is fine because it's to be expected. With the stall comes a lot of other head games that go along with it that, unless you're really zeroed in and focused on, can get to you. So part of that is because, you know, you're on this great weight loss track, like a pound a day. It feels amazing. From the time you have surgery until, you know, right about this point, you're like on cloud 9. You're losing weight and you're seeing it. If you're measuring yourself or weighing yourself, you're seeing it. You're seeing the results. And then all of a sudden it just kind of stops. So part of that is the fact that you've just had major surgery. Your body goes into a little bit of a shock and it's saying, whoa, what did you do here? It's got to get a moment to catch up and figure out where it's at. The other part of it is that you just physically can't be on that kind of a journey for indefinite periods of time. It's just one of your body's ways of reacting to the fact that you've just done something big. And also with this time frame, when you just start leveling off, so to say, and reach this little plateau, it's also because you're switching from eating mushy foods to solid foods, and your body has to learn to readjust, you know, how it's going to be, you know, functioning. So I will also say, when you go through the phase of mushy phase back to reintroducing solids to yourself, your mind wants to think differently. Your mind, it's a lot of head games, a lot of head stuff. And I say that because at first I didn't understand it. When people would talk about it, say this head space, that's a real thing because you've more than likely spent most of your adult life not eating right. Otherwise you wouldn't have been in this point to begin with. And then when you have the surgery, it's like a screeching halt. That eating life that you did before stops, and it has to change. It has to evolve to eating the healthier stuff. And you're slowly reintroduced to it because you physically have to. You can't, you know, when you first come out of surgery, you're on liquids. The second phase is the mushy phase. And the third phase and final phase is the actual reintroductions of foods again. So things that I used to eat, I can't eat anymore, or I can eat a very small portion of. And that's partly part of it because you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, I can have a bite of this. I can have 2 bites of this. Your stomach has been drastically reduced. So a bite or 2 of this or that fills it up and you're done. That's it. No do-overs. So, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold too. I've been sick this entire week, by the way, too. That's the other thing. Not COVID. Excuse me, not COVID at all. Just sick. You know, sore throat, coughing, congestion, 2 antibiotics. Kicked it finally in the butt with this last antibiotic, which is good, but I've got those residuals. Anyway, make a long story short here, you have the head space of thinking, oh, I can eat a bite or two of this and that. And you do that and you're in trouble. You're in trouble because, yeah, it tasted great, whatever it was. Maybe it's a bite of a hamburger. Maybe it's a couple French fries. But that's it. That's it. You go to eat something else and you're kind of at capacity at that point. I mean, your stomach goes from the size of a football to the size of your thumb. You can take your thumb, and if you've got gastric bypass, or if you've had the sleeve, some people have had the sleeve, and it's still a quarter of what your stomach was. So you can't eat that much. And so your head is thinking, oh, I'm eating this. This is great. In the past, you'd have been able to eat the whole plate and then some, or maybe a hamburger or 2 hamburgers and a whole thing of French fries and then guzzle down soda. And you just can't do that. So you take a bite or two to be thinking you can eat it, and you can maybe. You chew it up 1,000,000 times, or the 20 times they say to do it, and you swallow it and it goes down and you're like, okay, now I can have a French fry. Have a French fry. And then the natural bad habits come back of, oh, I'm going to take a sip of some Coke or whatever you have, and you just don't have the room. It's just not there. It's your restriction. It's your new stomach. It's your baby, as they call it. It's new. So the head does not register with the body. Sometimes it just doesn't. It's not fair, it seems like. But that's like anything in life. The head doesn't always cooperate with the rest of you. So in this case, for weight loss, the head doesn't cooperate. And you have to do tricks and tools to allow it to learn. So, yeah, I failed this week. I have one complete weakness, and that's Oreo cookies. So let me tell you about that. So I thought, because the family's not doing the diet that I'm doing, I bought them the Oreos because they complain when I go to the store that I don't buy anything good. So I bought the Oreos. I'm eyeballing them. I'm like, oh, you know what? I miss them. So I went ahead and won. But of course, naturally, the food addict that I am, can you ever just stop at 1 when you're addicted to something? No, of course not. So 1 turned into 2, 2 turned into 3. And, I'm thinking, this is great. I just had 3 Oreos. It cheated the system. I'm doing good. Nothing happened. I'm all right. It was bad. I felt guilty, sort of, but then I kind of didn't, because it was like, that was good. So, how addiction is sometimes. It's like, if you have any kind of addiction, I guess, but this food one, you eat it and it's like, oh, I don't feel so guilty. And yeah, I do feel a little guilty, but not really, because it was good. So had a cup of milk, which I should not be drinking because I can't drink milk, but going for the full effect here. So 3 Oreo cookies down, a cup of milk, and I thought I was good. I'm sitting there watching Netflix, watching Yellowstone, and it hits me. It hits me like I have 5 live fish in my stomach. No joke. I felt things flipping around and moving and making noise that shouldn't be making noise. And I thought, I'm in trouble here. This is not good. And Donnie kept saying, are you okay? Are you all right? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. So long story short there, I had to beeline it to the bathroom, and it didn't go well. But yeah, there's something called dumping syndrome that happens, that after you eat something bad, maybe you're not supposed to, your body it does reject it. In this case, sugar, it will majorly reject for me. Sugar, and I guess that it's possible with weight loss surgery, your body just does not accept sugar at all in any quantity. So yeah, it was dumb, and it was okay going down, and I thought I was right and beat the system, but I sure as heck didn't. I mean, for a good hour afterwards, I was miserable, and yeah, I don't want to play around with that again, because that just wasn't a good feeling. So yeah, the headspace. Back to the headspace. Just because you can have it doesn't mean you should, and it doesn't mean that your body's not going to reject it later. So Did it contribute to any weight loss or gains? No. My blood sugar was even lower in the morning, so surprise. And I was very thankful that my little escapade didn't do any damage. Weight loss still stayed the same, so, I'm hovering at the same 30 pounds that I've lost. So, yeah, the stall is real. And that's where I'm at right now. So day 46? Day 46, the stall is real. So the headspace is real. The stall is real. Pushing through these points, just going to have to do it. I am going to have to remind myself that this is a life change. And I like to watch a YouTuber. He's actually a doctor, a surgeon, bariatric surgeon, very well known. If you find him on YouTube, you're in for a treat. His name is Duc Voung, and he's amazing. So one of his speeches he did give was, this is about you. So, if you fumble and stumble, why would you keep doing it? This is about you. You've got to learn to love yourself more than that. You've done something to help yourself. Why would you want to keep sabotaging yourself? So do it because you love yourself more. You love yourself more than when you went back before the pounds were all on, before the surgery. Love yourself more than that. You did a huge thing. Or if you didn't have surgery and you're working out hard, you're doing this for you. Love yourself more than the food. Love yourself more so that you don't want to do that thing that you do that makes you feel good, that really won't in the end. So that's my takeaway for today. Love yourself more. You've survived 100% of your worst days. You'll survive them again. And love yourself more. First, love yourself. Fly. First, love yourself. Till next time, talk to you later. Bye.